Call of Duty is by far the most consistent video game that has ever been out. It reached immense popularity from 2008 to 2013 and has been hanging on by a thread ever since. With the great success of Modern Warfare 2019 and Warzone, there was a glimmer of hope that our once great game may return, but as we know, it still has yet to be delivered to us. Instead, we all play the shell of a game that we wish it was. Ladies and gentlemen, I love Call of Duty, but god damn, this game is going to suck forever. To really understand where this game is going, I believe we need to take a look at its past. Call of Duty began its true success with Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. I know there's going to be one douchebag in the comments that says it started with Call of Duty 2, but he is a liar and a pessimist. COD 4 was an amazing game. It revolutionized competitive FPS at a time when the majority of gamers were first getting into the genre. I was 10 at the time, very impressionable, and I had played Halo 3 online, but Halo was difficult for a kid who didn't have a clue. It had an advanced ranking system that I still believe outclasses anything made today. It had a high time to kill, which meant that if you were bad, you were lucky to get 3 kills in a match. Call of Duty 4 sought to fix that problem by lowering the time to kill dramatically. The game let you customize your class so you could cater to your playstyle. It rewarded you for getting kills. It gave you an objective besides the objective. Killstreaks. I still remember getting my first chopper. Back then, a 7 kill streak was something to brag about. I was also 10. And then came Modern Warfare 2. This game, if you don't know, shook the fabric of space-time itself. This was the most incredible game that ever existed. It was pure chaotic evil. It was Call of Duty 4 on horse steroids. This game was made for average people to feel like gods. Infinity Ward made this game so that mediocre players could bully other mediocre players. I played this game every day for 2 years and I was dog shit. I never got a nuke and I still loved it. The issue that gamers had with Modern Warfare 2 was Infinity Ward gave so much test to Soap that it was pouring out of his goddamn eyelids. The game was busted and it never got fixed because Activision was greedy, a trend that continued and has bled into our current Call of Duty games. See, developers want their players to be happy, and most times they are private companies, which means that their only concern is happy customers, whereas publishers like Activision are public and are less concerned with what players want and more concerned about what players will buy. At the time, Call of Duty was so large and with no real competition that the developers were able to focus on making future games better. We got Black Ops 1, an insane improvement on Modern Warfare 2. We got Modern Warfare 3, a game that is widely regarded as one of the best CODs to date, and everyone's favorite for competitive COD, Black Ops 2. In my opinion, these were the golden years of Call of Duty. Reason being, the hardcore player base was at the forefront of decision making. Because those games all came out in a 4-year period, the players had grown up with Call of Duty, and anybody younger that didn't play COD 4, Modern Warfare 2, well, they were sucked right into the giant black hole that was COD. And with the hardcore player base being at the front end of decision making, the developers were creating games more and more centered around fair and equal competition. There was a counter to everything. Every kill streak was balanced, every gun equal, every map symmetrical. At the time, it got very stale very fast. But a big part of that was the fact that they released a new game every year. If we were able to keep a game for 2 or maybe even 3 years, then I'm sure we wouldn't have gotten as bored, but that doesn't really matter anymore. What does matter is the fact that it happened. The hardcore players got bored, and by Call of Duty Ghosts, the game was dying fast. And so we saw the introduction of jetpacks. Goddamn, I hated those. To this day, I've never played Advanced Warfare, and I don't think I ever will. Just out of spite at this point for ruining my favorite video game. Black Ops 3 was better, but by this time, the only people playing it were the professionals or people who had never played a game other than COD in their life. It was around this time as well that any new players who joined onto the scene would get demolished by people who had played the game for a decade. And on top of that, the ability to literally fly, new players did not stand a chance against the veterans. And so we saw the beginning of skill-based matchmaking, which must have made those games way more successful because recently they've turned that shit up to 100. Call of Duty was slowly bleeding. It was dying. Infinite Warfare, being the second most disliked video on YouTube, was a sucker punch to the nuts for the developers. They needed to do something, and they needed to do it fast. We're gonna gloss over World War II because this game was just a desperate attempt to get their hardcore players back after the jetpack era. Where Activision truly began the process that we are entrenched in now was Blackout. After the insane success of Fortnite, Call of Duty was actually dying. For the first time ever a game was truly more popular than CoD. Sure, CoD sales had dwindled in the past, but even Infinite Warfare was the most successful game of its year. Fortnite took CoD players, and more importantly, CoD creators, away from their game. It was refreshing, fun, different, exciting, evolving, competitive. It was everything that we wanted. Fortnite was the first game for me, personally, since Call of Duty that I actually wanted to play every day. And so Blackout was Call of Duty's first attempt at taking back their market share. In reality, we now know that Blackout was just a beta for Warzone, but back then, Blackout was all we had. Which brings us to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 and the launch of Warzone. This game was designed from the ground up to strike nostalgia and bring in new players. The developers looked at the foundation of CoD and Modern Warfare 2 and just expanded on it. Mainly the idea that anybody could get a kill. They created safe spaces, they created safe lobbies, they created God guns, they created God killstreaks. The skill-based matchmaking alone in this game was a reason why it was so successful to the casuals. The reason being is that the developers were able to finally separate the noobs from the veterans successfully. Other than Modern Warfare being a reboot of the original game for nostalgia reasons, this game was not made for the hardcore player base. This game was designed for people new to the FPS genre. This game was designed for stoners or drunk idiots to play at 3 a.m. after they'd been up for 12 hours. And that showed on YouTube. If you remember correctly, most, if not all, YouTubers were very public about their discontent for the game. Many creators even quit the game altogether. And it wasn't until Warzone released that Modern Warfare was popular among the gaming community again. See, Activision noticed that they could still make a billion-dollar game even if nobody played it. Modern Warfare made more money than any Call of Duty before it. From a financial perspective, it was the largest success they've ever had, but when you look at it on the outside, you can see that it was far from a popular game. Luckily though, Warzone brought back the Fortnite kids. From Blackout, Activision learned that they don't need to try very hard in the battle royale scene. All they need to do is change up the game a bit. So they added loadouts and contracts. And speaking strictly from a base gameplay experience, Warzone is incredible. It is one of my favorite games of all time. It is super fun, very addicting, and has extremely high replay value. The issue with not only Warzone, but Call of Duty in general, is the fact that Activision is catering to casuals over hardcore fans. There is intense skill-based matchmaking. The better you get at the game, the harder it becomes. This wouldn't be so bad, but there's no real ranking system, just an arbitrary level that anybody can get to the top of, which in theory sounds great. Even if you're a bad player, you can reach level 1000, but this is bullshit. If you're a bad player, you are not going to get to level 1000. The only way you're going to make it even close to 1000 if you are a sweaty Susan who plays the game every hour, every day, and who games that much? Hardcore players. So cut the shit and change the leveling system from experience to wins. Change the leveling system from experience to your kill death ratio. Change the leveling system to something that represents your skill. Activision, I know that you are a business and your main concern is to rake in as much dough as possible, but if you neglect your hardcore fans that literally desire to play your game every waking moment of every day, somebody else is going to swoop in and steal your market share. That is how capitalism works. When there's a need in the market, somebody will fill it. You have popular streamers and creators like Dr. Disrespect begging gaming companies to create Warzone with ranked and anti-cheat, something we didn't even touch on today because it is a whole other beast. You think when the two-time finds a game that is as exhilarating and well-made as Warzone but doesn't have any other bullshit like cheaters or a prehistoric leveling system, he's gonna sweep it under the rug? No. Him and everybody else will hop on that game, and when streamers are playing a game because they actually enjoy it, Call of Duty and Warzone will die. We saw it with Fortnite. It is not impossible. The only issue with Fortnite was the building. People did not like that. Do not underestimate the free market. Now, I love CoD. I love Warzone, and I want to see this succeed. I am hoping that with the transition from Warzone being supported by Infinity Ward to now being supported by Raven Software, that this game will finally reach its potential. We know that Warzone is a multi-year game, which means that if this game is going to last 5 years, they need people to stick around. They need hardcore players. 3 things really will ensure the lifespan of this game. 1, anti-cheat. This is obvious, and I cannot believe we still don't have it. 2, ranked mode. This will create a demand for players to keep returning. And 3, the like button. Make sure to smash that thing right now. Now, I'm gonna give Activision, Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Raven the benefit of the doubt here, which they probably do not deserve, but here it is. They have never made a multi-year game before. This concept is foreign to them. It's also foreign to the CoD community. It's more of a PC gamer luxury, to be honest. These game studios have been forced by Daddy Activision to create a game every year. They've never been able to truly perfect any one game because once they get close, they have to restart from basically scratch and try again. This is literally the first time that they've ever been in a position to make a game perfect. This is also the first time that Raven has ever been the head of a project. They are always in a support role assisting other studios. Sure, they've done Wolfenstein shine in Call of Duty Online, but let's be honest with ourselves. Warzone is by far the biggest project that they've ever worked on. The pressure is on for Raven. Do I think they can do it? I don't fucking know. Activision does not have a good track record with pleasing their core audience. I am hopeful that Warzone is the game meant for hardcore players and the main Call of Duty title that releases every year is for the casuals. I am hopeful that Raven truly listens to the community, but I am doubtful. I think it's far more likely that Warzone will forever string us along like that beautiful woman that friend-zoned us long ago. Guys, if you made it this far, you obviously liked the video, so why don't you like the video? If you loved the video, subscribe down below. Comment on what you think Warzone needs. Join my Discord server to be part of community and to join the discussion. I am Randeezus. Peace out.
Nice. 2v2. Oh, never mind. Let's go.